All right. Hey guys, welcome back. We are doing something a little bit different today. So, I have done some crazy Amazon ordering, and did I blow my budget? Absolutely. Do I think it will be worth it? Absolutely. We are paying it forward today. So, come join me as I pack 3 makeup kits to donate to the source. We are doing a light, medium, and deep. And if I have a similar or identical product to what is in these bags, we are going to test it out and give a little demonstration. And then in my next video that I'm going to film, I'm actually going to do a little demo. We're going to put together a makeup look, not necessarily using the same products because I did not purchase an identical kit for myself, but we are going to use similar products, eyeshadow is eyeshadow, that sort of thing. And we'll put together a tutorial. We'll throw in some of the tips, and that video is going to have its own QR code that I'm going to put in the kits so that whoever picks these up from the station can scan the QR code, and they will have their own personal tutorial on how to use the items in the kit to put together a look. So if it is their first time playing with music, excuse me, playing with makeup, I almost said playing music. Maybe it is. I don't know. They have the tutorial, or if they just want to see how to use these particular products, it's in there. Or if they just want to connect to the person donating, or they're just curious and want some more tips, whatever, that's going to be in there. So let's get started. Like I said, we are doing 3 kits, a light, medium, and deep, and most of the products in here are going to be very forgiving. So anybody within that shade range, we have a lot of sheer things, we have a lot of things that have multiple shade ranges in them. So let's get going. First things first, everybody has to have their bag. And I found these, and I think they are just absolutely perfect for this. Whoever gets them, they're going to have a little bit of room in there to add their own things. And so they say little reminders: you are enough. It's okay to have bad days. Don't believe everything you think. You are so very loved, and be kinder to yourself. And if that doesn't go with our little theme here on the channel, if you remember my little sign off, I always say stay safe, be kind to yourself. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. And our little rainbow here to support the source. So everybody gets one of these. And so let's pack. Obviously, we start with SPF. So each bag is going to get their own little mini Sun Bum 30 SPF premium moisturizing sunscreen lotion. You know, I always start with a layer of that. So each bag gets one of those. What's next? If you know my routine, obviously we're going to go with tinted moisturizer. So in is going to go the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator. So into our fair, we are going with the shade Porcelain. Into our medium, we are going with the shade Tan Medium Deep. And into our deep, we are going with the shade Deep. So I did end up with a spare, the light. So let's go ahead and see how this one plays in the range. So like I said, do I expect the people who pick these up to be the exact shade? Obviously, I do not. So let's see. This should sheer out nicely so that most people in, 3 to 4 skin tones can use this. So this in the bottle obviously is not my shade, but it should sheer out enough and just give a tiny amount of coverage so that anybody within, 3 or 4 shade ranges can use this shade. Yeah. See, even though it's not my ideal shade, I think I'd probably go closer to the one that we added into the light bag. This is something that I could get away with. I'd add a little bit of concealer, maybe mix in my moisturizer like I like doing for a little bit of SPF, but I could get away with using this shade and nobody would call me out on it. So whoever picks up the bags, if it's within their shade range, they could get away with using the tinted hydrator in the bag, especially because the next thing that we're putting in the bag, let me clean my hands real quick because I don't want to stain anything that's going in. Why do I have an empty bag? That's difficult. All right, let's open a new one. Ooh, all right. Sorry about that. Nothing like assaulting the camera. So the next thing going in is the thing that I looked for the most, and probably one of the more expensive items. During editing, I'm going to throw up the price for each of these things because, one, it'll be nice to know, for anyone that wants to put together their own kits, either for themselves or to donate something like this, but also because I have to put a price on what they're worth for, 501(c)(3) donation purposes. And I worked really hard to make sure that I found a individual kit for each one. Now, because I had to break them up, I do have one that I ended up keeping for myself, but let's go on and I'm going to show you one that I ended up getting for each skin tone because I did manage to find an individual one. So what's going in next is going to be a little kit like this, and I can show you because I kept the plastic on each one. So we are keeping them sanitary. My goodness, I haven't filmed in a while. I can't speak. They are clean and sanitary. They have not been swatched. So this is the shade for the light. And as you can see, we've got some color correcting shades. We've got some shades that can be used for contour, bronzing, and I think I said highlighting. I'm going to say it again just in case I didn't. And also, of course, concealer and blush. So these are creams. You warm them up with your fingers and they can melt right into the skin. So each one has one of these. I'm going to show you. This is the one going into the light kit. So in that goes. For medium, let's see, is this the medium kit? Nope, here it is. Keep the plastic in place. Here is our medium, so a little bit darker. in the shades, but still having that highlighter, contour, bronzer. And then for our deep, let's see this one. Yes, so here's our deep tone. No, I lied. Sorry. This is the deep. I had them switch. This is why we're going through it. So this is our medium tone here. This is our deep tone. Upside down. Here we go. Here's our deep tone. So the color correcting you see is a little bit of a redder tone, and the green is deeper. And of course, these nice deep tones here for contour and concealer. So I'm glad I caught that. Okay. So of course, next, once you get that, you need a little bit of setting powder. So we're going in with Wet n Wild Bare Focus finishing powder. We've got a light, medium, and this is going to be a sheer powder, so it doesn't need to be perfect, and a deep. All right, and now we're gonna have some fun. So I found these incredibly cute, teeny tiny little eyeshadow palettes, and they cover every color of the rainbow. We've got some shimmers, some mattes, and some nudes. So these are gonna work on every skin tone. So every single one gets this. So in these go. Super cute. And I just realized I forgot to show you the one. This is an additional one that came in the other little palettes. It does not have blush tones or anything like that, but I have another little one that does. So this was an extra palette. So let me go ahead and show you how I would use it. And there with the plastic, that's okay because it's fine. So I could warm up this one here. This is the deepest tone. Warm it up on my finger till it starts to get a little melty. It's a little cold in here, so this takes a little bit longer. There we go. I could go just with my finger, and then I could take a brush and just kind of melt in a little bit of bronzer tone. I don't think it's really showing up on camera, but it's there. Now, if I wanted to take a lighter tone, this one, yeah, this one here, do the same, get it nice and warm on my finger. Oh my goodness, I am cold. I'm not getting any warmth. Need to microwave my finger. All right, we're getting a little bit. So I could go in, there you go, you can see that on camera better, and give myself a little bit of concealer. If I wanted to, I could go into this lighter shade here for a highlighter, etc. And if I was in a pinch, I didn't have a color for foundation, I could find one in here to match my shade, etc. So that's how you would use this palette. I can go into it more in detail in my next video, but thought I'd show you guys that. And I had a similar one that I showed you guys in the previous video. I'll pull it out again. So I do have the corrector colors already. So that's why when that one came as a bonus, I was like, hey, we got it. We're good. So, all right. Now, you saw me grab my brushes. And of course, I do this as a hobby. So I have lots of brushes, but we need brushes for our kit. So let's give them some brushes, shall we? 1, 2, 3. And because I had a little extra, everyone gets an extra brush. One of the kits came with an extra little 3-pack of brushes, so everybody gets a bonus brush. And because I found that amazing eyeshadow palette, they also came each with a waterproof mascara, an eyeliner pencil, and eyebrow pencil. So each kit is getting that. And to finish it off, you guys remember these because they were in the last video. We grabbed the NYX Butter Gloss for each. So the light is getting the shade Angel Food Cake. The medium is getting the shade Praline. And the deep is getting the shade, I believe, Ginger Snap. Yes. And I grabbed one for me here. So this is the shade Candy Apple. We'll just pop that one on. And these all smell so good. And they are super pigmented. I'm just throwing this on over some chapstick. And you can see how deeply pigmented these are. So these are our kits. Tell me below, is this something that you would want? What would you add? What would you change? Have I inspired you to go make your own little kits for a charity in your area? And I did want to add something that didn't get in a video but has been added in comments on other videos that I'm putting out. So if you don't know, this was inspired by Katie Farhood, Makeup by Katie. She did a Christmas giveaway where she gave 12 fans boxes from her PR. So influencers get sent free stuff all the time. They don't use it all. They keep it and then they give them away to followers, people that interact with them, etc. This year, I won one of the boxes, and Katie is incredible, and she matched every fan box with a box that she donated to a women's shelter. And this was explained in other videos, but that was incredibly special to me because I have been in a women's shelter and needed, I don't know where it went now, a gloss. And it was a big thing. I've told the story before. Anyway, it would make sense if I was going to then pay it forward and build kits like this to then go back and donate it to the shelter that I was in. Obviously, I'm not. I'm donating these kits to the station at the source. So you're probably wondering why. Why would I do that instead of going to the shelter, right? And the answer is because they're already taken care of. There is a women's group in Visalia. I'm not sure what they're called, League of Women or something. And when I was in there, they were actually doing work in the shelter. They were painting a room or something like that. And it turns out that I recognized one of the women. She's the mother of one of my elementary, junior high, and high school friends. And it was one of those moments where you're like, I don't know if I want anybody to recognize me in here. Is it going to be awkward? Is it going to be scary? Like I didn't know how it was I was going to react. Like, that's not a moment in your life that you want to be recognized. But it was okay. And she explained that, they come in and they do work and they do drives, charity drives, and things get donated. And like, this is their pet project. They take care of the women in the shelters, not like they're shelter workers, but like when they get together and they do their charity work, that's where that work goes to. So I know that the women and children there are taken care of. They have another charity that is already thinking of them. And as far as I know, the source is the charity for the source. There is no other group that has taken it upon themselves to do fundraisers to raise money for the source, right? So that's why I've chosen time to pay it forward to the source. Should I find out that there is a need for more fundraising for the women's shelter or for any other charity or group or fill in the blank, and I have the ability to do something about it, then I will. It just so happens that in this case, the station is something that is near and dear to my heart because I recently came out and I was so welcomed at the source and I learned about the station and it just resonated with me. So 3 bags is not a big donation. This could be gone in one day. I've done what I could and I hope I've inspired you guys to go out and do the same. And I know my reach is so small. I know my videos get under 100 views each. I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm talking to a huge audience and I'm going to inspire millions. I know that I'm not. But if one other person goes out and pays it forward because of my video. So a little reminder, until the next video, stay safe, be kind to yourself. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.